Would I be wrong if I say that because you felt language was a barrier for you, language was a wall for you,
Right.
you overcame it in a certain way?
Right.
Is that why you decided that, okay, I need to start and help other people break that wall and become who they want to be?
Specifically in India, English is something will define your confidence or a personality of yours. So now I know what I have gone through and what that student must be going through. So I take that step towards telling them that if you do not know particular language, so it is not going to define your intelligence. It's just that if you want to communicate how intelligent you are, you need something to communicate, right? And to communicate, we need a language. So as simple as that.
European languages are one of the most complex set of languages
Right.
in the world.
Right.
Students being students, they don't have patience most of the time.
Correct.
When they tell you, okay, not happening, I don't want to do it anymore, right? They want to give up.
Right.
How do you handle that?
So we tell them to take a break and come back again. It comes naturally to all of us.
Yeah.
It becomes monotonous for us, right? So if somebody is learning for 6 months, it is more of the same thing again and again for them. We try to incorporate a lot of activities. Otherwise, we just ask them to listen to the songs whichever they like, but in that particular language. Or listen to the language without giving a lot of importance that whether I'm understanding it or not. That's what we have started doing with such kind of students, and we saw the result.
All right, Darshana, back again.
Yes.
Long time.
Yes.
So, अभी तक हमने बात की about Speak Orange Academy,
Right.
about the education industry,
Right.
about the language industry, और उसमें अभी क्या चल रहा है, what is it that people are looking forward to, and what is it that the markets are saying.
Right.
अभी between the last conversation and this conversation, dynamics have changed.
Correct.
Geopolitically, whatever. हम उसके बारे में आज बात नहीं करेंगे.
All right.
But today I want to touch upon Darshana as an individual. Speak Orange Academy Kela. Who is Darshana? What is Darshana? So let's start from there.
Right.
You did mention that you're from Nagpur.
Yeah.
You grew up in a small part closer
Yeah.
to Nagpur.
Right.
And wahan se then, you had your hospitality journey and
Right.
you came to linguists and
Right.
all of that. But I want to specifically start from a point where who is Darshana without Speak Orange Academy? So if I take away Speak Orange Academy, who is Darshana as an individual?
Okay. So that made me thinking a lot. uh, so when I take out the what you call the designation of founder, or if I take out Speak Orange Academy, which is attached to me as identity right now, I can see a little girl who is running on agriculture fields barefoot, playing whole day, very stubborn, but still want to win all the time and has a fighting nature. So I remember when I was small, during my childhood, I had a fighting nature.
Okay.
And then I used to fight with everyone, and I had no friends that time. So, so when I see myself apart from Speak Orange Academy, I want to specify here that uh, I grew as a person, I guess, and not after doing graduation or something. I see my journey where a small little girl has grew as a person. Why I'm saying that? Because when I was in fifth standard, so we used to have elections to vote for your monitor, class monitor,
Oh.
right? So I used to stand, and other student also used to stand to become a monitor, right? So, and I used to get one vote,
Oh.
only one vote, and that was mine. Because I had no friends. So I used to fight with everyone. So that time I stood alone, and it used to hurt me that why I do not have friends. So something had changed then. So when I entered into standard sixth, something has changed. And I remember that I started becoming more soft, started making friends. And I remember the day in standard sixth, all my classmates has unanimously voted for me as a monitor.
Wow.
So I don't know what is that change
change,
happened during that time. So I think what I can interpret from there is you cannot demand respect. You have to
100%.
grow into it. You have to earn it. So that kind of probably I became more soft. And then I listened to my friends. Probably they wanted to talk to me, and I listened to them. And then
Yeah.
I had sympathy for them. Probably. So that I think that leadership quality has started growing up in me since then. So I would say that me as a person who is very stubborn, always wanted to win, had a fighting nature, but not as a person now, but as a challenge taker. So that would always remain with me. The stubborn person who will always take challenges and overcome it. Yeah, that would be the
That would be you.
me. Yeah.
Were you in sports?
Sorry.
Did you play sports at school?
I played hockey. At
Oh.
yeah, hockey I played till district level only.
And
Yes.
then how was you? How were you academically?
Academically, I was very average student. Very average.
Well, I'll tell you why I'm asking the question, right? Okay,
Right.
your distinction of that I have to win or I have to perform in whatever
Hmm.
difficult situation it is.
Right.
It's a very athlete thing. It's a very sports wala thing.
Okay.
Right? So you see every sports person, because
Right.
sports people typically never give up. I mean, they'll keep on
Right.
playing.
Right.
For them, winning or losing is part of the process, but उनका main focus है कि फिलहाल तो let me just perform.
Right.
So
Correct.
has that stayed with you even today?
Uh so winning, it's like when we want to win, we have to compete, right?
Right.
So that competition is with me for myself because when I actually, as I grew up in very small village called Sindevai, where from Anganwadi, from the KGs to 12th standard, I did my studies in vernacular language, that is Marathi. So Hindi also we could barely speak. So when we shifted to Nagpur, which is the closest city metro for us to do graduation for the studies, we had to speak in Hindi, and we could barely speak or converse in Hindi.
Oh.
So I'll come back to that. Why that particular thing is still there with me. Uh, when we came to Nagpur for graduation, I have taken a admission in hotel management. And the day I entered in the class, I can see that convent educated girls who can speak fluently in English, though I am surrounded by them. And that was the earthquake for me inside because I could barely speak in Hindi as well. And then I couldn't understand what to do in that particular, situation.
Correct.
I think I went for 10 to 12 days and I always came back crying for those 10 to 12 days. And I told my mom that I don't want to go and want to do my graduation in hotel management because everybody speaks in English.
Correct.
So I said, no, I don't want to go. So I think after 15, 20 days, my teacher called up and said, tell her to come back. We will help her out. But
Oh,
still,
nice.
then
Oh, nice.
I started going there again. I knew the answers, but I never raised my hand because I did not know how to converse in English. So then that time also again going back to the fifth standard where I stood alone for one vote. And then here also I am alone because I do not know. I don't belong to this room or this class. So then what to do? Then again I thought, no, I have to win this challenge, whatever is there. So then 8:15 my class is to start, hotel management class. So I have enrolled for 6:30 batch for spoken English. And I used to, for 1 year, I used to leave my home by 5:30, reach there by 6:30 to 7:30. I used to do my spoken English class and reach my hotel management college by 8:15. So that's how my journey. So language became a wall for me that time.
Yeah.
And I couldn't see anything beyond that. So that something still stays with me that in case any challenge comes, I don't want to step back. I want to win. So not for particular, that compete with someone and win, But yes, whatever challenge is there, I want to overcome and win that for myself. So that will always remain with me as a person. Yeah. Right.
So would I be wrong if I say that because you felt language was a barrier for you, language was a wall for you,
Right.
you overcame it in a certain way?
Right.
Is that why you decided that, okay, I need to start and help other people break that wall and, become who they want to be? Can we call that as a reason?
Okay, so when I have done my hotel management, then I did not know whether I'm going to become a French language expert and have my own academy. But probably it is destined to happen.
Destiny, yeah.
Probably it was destined to happen. But however, I have done my MBA and everything. And then because in hotel management, you have this subject called French.
Yeah.
So I had French language as a subject there. And somehow I started liking that conversation in French, and I scored well in French, and I wanted to continue doing something in French language, but unfortunately I couldn't do it. So somehow, because as I just said, that I was destined to come back to languages. So when I started learning French language in 2017, I became an expert in it, and then I wanted to open this academy. Now I think that the student who comes to me and say that, I have no confidence because of I can't speak in certain language, and specifically in India, English is something will define your confidence or a personality of yours.
100%.
So fortunately or unfortunately, if you do not know how to converse in English, we tend to have different opinion about that particular candidate,
Yeah.
right? So right now I make sure that if somebody calls me and say that, ma'am, I'm not understanding this, I have no confidence, then I say, no, it is not a confidence you have to lose. You have to take one step ahead and take it as a challenge and overcome it. It is not your weakness. You have to build your confidence. So now I know what I have gone through and what that student must be going through. So I take that step towards telling them that it is not bad, or it is not that it is going to define your intelligence. That if you do not know particular language, so it is not going to define your intelligence. It's just that if you want to communicate how intelligent you are, you need some communication language. You need something to communicate, right? And to communicate, we need a language. So as simple as that. So having traveled that path for so many years, I know how to tell my students that it is not to be worried. You can still go ahead and win for yourself.
What scares you?
What scares me?
And I'll tell you where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
This is not a philosophical question that I want to ask, right?
Right.
Where I'm coming from is, again, going back to sports, I also was in sports.
Right.
I've seen one thing, that every sportsman,
Mm-hmm.
they have something that really disturbs them. There could be some of their co-players that they really despise कि नहीं इसके साथ तो खेलना ही नहीं.
Yeah, right, right.
There could be uh, the way they perform,
Right.
they expect too much from themselves. कि I have to perform at this level or nothing.
Right.
Then there are some sportsmen who are really, really focused on the outcome, that if I am a part of a team, that team has to win.
Right.
And the responsibility is on me for success or failure of
Right. Correct.
that particular round or game or sport, whatever. So hence I'm asking that you had that, barrier of
Right.
language,
Mhm.
right? You were a sportsman also. So you had a spirit that you have to stand up for a particular challenge,
Right.
fight your way through.
Right.
Came to college,
Right.
faced it.
Right.
You got support from your teachers. But then there was something that remained with you as a fear, which even today
Yeah.
may, I'm not saying
Yeah,
necessarily,
correct. Right.
may motivate you or
Mm.
push you to operate in a certain way.
Correct.
What is that fear?
So what I feel when I think about it is like, if I do something and I feel that I don't belong here, then it scares me. Like example again, if I am in certain environment where certain people are there and I go and enter and I feel that I don't belong here, that makes me feel out of the place. and that makes me very nervous. So again, I think that has to something to do with again fifth standard standing alone. Again, this the hotel management where I couldn't converse,
Correct.
and that's how I feel that if I am going somewhere, I need to know everything in advance so that I don't feel out of the place. So that fear is there with me. So whenever I want to do something, I want to prepare in advance, know everything in advance so that I don't feel out of the place. I don't feel that I don't belong here like that. So that particular fear I have. Yeah.
How do you so that position of that standpoint of yours will demand a lot of control.
Right.
You need to be in control of the circumstances, environment, the way you
Correct.
operate, and all of that, right?
Right.
And you mentioned that people come to you, students come to you, okay, ma'am, I don't have confidence because of a particular language.
Yeah.
You tell them it's not about confidence, it's the language.
Right.
How do you make sure that you also give this or remove their notions or fears? How do you work with your students to remove their conditioning fears?
Right.
How do you do that?
So when you want to take out the fear of someone, you need to provide them a platform where they can comfortably talk about their fears. Example, I do not know how to speak this particular sentence in French or German or in English. So that comfort if I give, and if I do not judge him or her, that particular person is going to open up and talk about his or her fear and take one step ahead to correct it. Example, one sentence he or she is trying to learn and they are unable to do it. And if you start laughing at them or scolding them, you don't provide that comfort to them, I'm sure they're going to close their
Percent.
yes, and then they're not going to come to you. So that platform, that comfort I give or I tell my trainers also in Speak Orange Academy that let them ask questions. Once they start asking questions, you will see a lot of improvements.
Yeah.
Give them a comfort of asking questions, even a stupid questions. If they do not know how to pronounce, that's okay. If they do not know how to write it, that's okay. But if you give them that platform to converse with you and to share with you, I would not say converse, to share with you what their fears are, what their challenges are. If you see and understand, you will be able to see the progress. So that's what I feel, that you need to give them a comfort of sharing.
And do your students change? When do you see a change in them?
Yes. Yes, we do. We do. Because, see, in case if I know that somebody is there to listen to me without any judgment, I'm sure everybody of us in our real life situation also,
Right.
we tend to improve ourselves, right? Because somebody is there to listen to you without any judgments. So when you listen to someone without any judgments, I think you will give that person a chance to improve. So same thing we actually do it in Speak Orange Academy. And all the trainers also are instructed that way. And we see the growth of student. So that is tried and tested, I would say. And then yes, that's how it is.
Did you ever want to give up? That all of us have reached at that point at some time where we're
Correct.
like, "Okay, bas ho gaya.
Correct.
I don't think it's going to work out. Let's give up." Did you ever have that moment, and what was that moment?
Yeah, sometimes because when I started alone. I started
Mm.
my academy from scratch. So Uh, there was a time where I had only one or two students and barely I could earn. And I remember I'm having in my account 300 rupees for around almost 8 to 10 months, and I couldn't tell anyone that I have only 300 rupees. Don't ask me to spend on a coffee also. So I never used to meet people also during that time, being very extrovert. So yeah, that time I thought, no, I think nothing is working out. I stop this and start working. Like start working means taking a job and just leave this business. There were some times where I thought I will leave this. I don't want to have this kida of business in my mind. 300 rupees से कुछ नहीं होने
कुछ नहीं होने
वाला
वाला।
है। वो भी 8 months continuously.
100%.
So I thought that time wanted to actually quit. and start taking a role in some school or a college as a visiting faculty or a French language expert. But yes, then yeah, I kept going probably. Then I spoke to few of my friends, my family who were my support system. Then yes, then you have those down points in your life, and then there is someone who pushes you up. So friends and family are there to push me in towards my goal. So that's how then I started again, restarted, I would say.
What happens when a student of your,
Mm.
irrespective of their age or
Right, right.
where they're coming from,
Mm.
when they tell you, okay, because see, the languages that you coach them
Mm.
are all foreign languages,
Right,
and European languages are one of the most complex set of languages
right,
in the world.
right.
Students being students,
Mm.
they don't have patience most of the times,
Correct.
and they must be saying, okay, not happening, I
Not
don't want to do it anymore, right? They want to
right,
give up.
right.
How do you handle that? I mean, what do you tell them at that time?
Correct. So, see, normally when student is saying this, that means uh, it is like they are burnt out with a lot of stuff they are doing, not only learning a language but other stuff also they are doing. So just they need a space, they need some time to refocus again. So we tell them to take a break and come back again, because if they have enrolled with us and they want to learn, so it is not that particular moment, it's the particular moment they want to leave, or they are not interested. But if you give them a time and tell them not to focus much on it today, or within for next few days, you do not attend the class, we will again restart after 1 week or 2 weeks, and we have seen quite good response. So this is the way we tackle with this, because it comes naturally to all of us.
Yeah.
It becomes monotonous for us, right?
Mm.
So if somebody is learning for 6 months, it is more of, it becomes the same thing again and again for them. So yeah, so we tell them to take a break, and then we try to incorporate a lot of activities. Otherwise, we just ask them to listen to the songs whichever they like, and but in that particular language,
Mm.
or listen to the language without giving a lot of importance that whether I'm understanding it or not, whether I am able to write
Yeah.
listening to it or not. So just listen to it. So take a break. If you don't want to listen, don't want to do anything in that particular language, take a break and come back again. That's what we have started doing with such kind of students, and we saw the result. They come back again. So I think probably the
Break matters.
break matters.
No,
Taking a pause.
there is also a lot of, I mean, it's a very overused term, but I'm still going to use it, that there's a lot of belief system that most of these guys have, that I want to learn a particular language
Hmm.
because I want this, or because I want to do this,
Correct.
or because I've not been able to do this, hence I want to do this,
Right.
right?
Correct.
And I understand that as a coach, as a teacher,
Right.
it's a difficult point for you to tell the student that it's not a right mindset, right? But
Right.
how do you handle that? Because
Right.
it limits the learning of the
Learning
particular
of-
person. No?
Correct.
How do you tackle them?
Okay. So it is again because, in market, if you see, everybody talks about that how you're going to enhance your career after learning the language. So every marketing gimmick, our marketing strategies or marketing is done in such a way that learn this language and get the opportunity to work here. If you are an MBA person, learn this language and you will get so many opportunities, or engineer, whatever. So education from the marketing perspective also is done in such a way that every one of us, we always think that language is a what do you call, it is not a mainstream, it is something addition to what I am doing. Nobody takes language as a career, nobody thinks language as a main career focus point. So it is not about people mindset. This is the way market has conditioned them to think,
Correct.
that way, because when market says that learn language in 15 days, become fluent in 30 days. So all these gimmicks actually plays a lot of role, the way you uh, you know um, when you want to learn any language and approach any academy to take the admission. So it is not about people, they do not understand the importance of language learning. But yes, because they do not have proper information about it, they tend to think that way. But when they come to us and say that, okay, because I want for this particular thing and within 1 month I want to learn and my focus is only to get into this to this, then we have to tell them that first of all, 1 month is not going to be sufficient for you in case we are looking for a long term advantage or long term benefit for your career. So when you tell them, we take out the time, tell them, then they understand it, right? So it is a matter of education, matter of educating people about the language, how it can be learned, how you can think that it is going to be useful for you. So it is about educating them. That's what I feel. Because any inquiry coming in, they have a different kind of expectations. 15 days, 7 days. I want to be fluent. I don't want to write or listen, but I want to be fluent in speaking. But it doesn't happen that way because they have very limited knowledge about learning a language. So if you tell them how it is going to go for you, what is the path of your language learning, I think they understand it. So I think how do I handle it is to give them a time, tell them how it is going to work for them, and they understand it.
That is a very important thing that you said, right? More often than not, they are sort of misled by
Correct.
market.
Right.
Now, a question that I have, it's more like to gain an insight from you that
Yeah.
what is broken in this whole language coaching system? Like in general, the industry seems broken, right?
Right.
What is broken? What are some things that are absolutely doing more damage than good?
Okay. The the quality of trainers. Quality of trainers means uh not a good student can be a very good teacher, right? So when you want to impart a knowledge, so
Yeah.
example, I am French language C2 certified French language expert. But can I be the best teacher to impart the knowledge of the French language? Not necessary. So what happens when me as a person, when I think that I'm a very good student in a language and I start teaching and I don't understand how to impart that knowledge, or I do not also work on training myself how to impart that knowledge to the student, that becomes the barrier. So if you know that I am not a very good teacher, so you will get to know, right?
Yeah.
When we also take a demo session or interviews of the trainers, we get to know that way they are lacking, and when we give them a feedback, they are very reluctant to take that feedback. That how do you say that we do not know how to impart? It is not about you do not know. There is a way you have to direct your ways to impart the knowledge as per the age group. So that particular training part, like how to impart your knowledge, how to teach that particular language or a grammar concept. So that particular thing is something I think there is a barrier in this particular language industry where trainer has to upgrade themselves, taking lot of trainings, how to teach students in a different ways, not only in a particular way, maybe adding lot of activities and fun elements in your teaching. So that something is missing, and when teacher's quality is missing, I think then there is a problem. That's what I feel.
No, you're right to say that if a student is going to be exactly like how the teacher is,
Right.
you're 100% right to say that.
Right.
And it's a brutal reality
Yeah.
that quality of teachers matters.
Right. It is.
Still, the market is flooded with teachers who are not of the optimum quality. Now, why do you think it's not getting corrected? Or let me put it this way: why are quality teachers not coming in the market?
Okay. For this, let me put it this way. Uh, See, the quality teachers who are there, because language is learned by few people in the industry. It is not that everybody now and then, like MBAs or engineers, how we have many people, right, in the industry. Similarly, there's a very few percentage of our population who tries to learn a language and become an expert or do take that profession as a language expert, right? If you are a very good, very good into languages, if you are expert in it, or if you're a good teacher, they're already taken by the good institutes or the schools or colleges, and they are paid well there.
Correct.
So now that is the thing, right? If you're good, you're already taken by someone. If you are not so good, you don't want to become good. So again that mindset that in case if I'm not good enough, do I need to take trainings to become better? So that thing, if that mindset changes, then only something will happen. Why it is not coming, why the good trainers or the teachers are not coming out is only because good teachers and trainers, they know how to go about teaching and how to go and get the right kind of job for them. They already know. So they are at the right places. There are many students who learn languages every year, but not all of them want to become a teacher, right?
Yeah.
Now, I am doing graduation and I have learned A1, A2 or B1 in some like in European languages, and it becomes my side business or a pocket money for me. So that's how most of the trainers are in the market. They are not a professional teachers. It is just for them, it is a side business or it is a side income for them.
For pocket money.
Yeah, it's extra pocket money. So probably that is the reason they don't want to invest in their training, and they do not have a mindset to grow as a teacher. So I think that is something is I see where good teachers are not in the market.
I'm sure you also must be getting these kind of people a lot
Right.
as applicants and whatnot, right?
Right.
Uh, most of the times, or sometimes, it also happens that you onboard someone basis the interview,
Right.
turns out to be really good.
Hmm.
But when the person gets onboarded, you realize that while that person is a really great human being,
Hmm.
the professional qualities are not matching with your company's ethos or value system,
Correct.
or not matching with the client expectation.
Right.
That is the time when you have to have a very difficult conversation with that resource,
Right.
with your teachers.
Right.
So, what are some of those difficult conversations that you had with your team?
Okay. So it is difficult when the person is good, and then the what we thought and what for what reason we have recruited him or her, and it is not turning out to be the good thing right now in for the academy, for the students mainly. So we have to sit down and make them understand we are here to give the quality education, right? And if that person is good person, that person will definitely understand. The problem comes when the person is not in the mindset to accept that the quality what he or she is delivering is not good enough. Then the conversation becomes difficult. But yes, having said that, we have to have that conversation, saying that it is a matter of students' future, and hence we will not be able to continue. So yes, then it has to be very transparent and very honest conversation. So yes, we will have some difficult conversations, and some of them are easy, but yeah, some of them are difficult as well. But yes, we have to have that conversation, a very honest conversation.
Okay.
True feedback.
Generally, when, as a business owner, when you have these kind of conversations, they also impact or rather create some kind of a change
Mhm.
in your leadership.
Right.
You evolve as a leader by having such conversations.
Right.
So I just want you to introspect and tell me what changed in you as a leader
Hmm.
when you've had these conversations in the past.
Okay. Initially, when I started, I was very raw. But yes, I have to learn much more things in my life again as a leader. But when I started and somebody said no to me, I couldn't take it. How, they can say no to me. It was, that hard for me to take no from the trainers after, taking the interviews, demo session, giving them what they have expected. But yes, they must have got some other opportunities, and they went for that particular opportunity. They have taken that opportunity. So taking no was very difficult for me. So now it becomes so easy for me saying that yes, if I would have been that particular person's shoes, and if I get a good opportunity, I will definitely grab that, right?
Correct.
Taking no has become easy for me. So I take example, my trainers, if I give them some inquiries that, these are the inquiries have come up and now you have to take these classes. Are you available? So initially if they say yes, and at the day of demo session, they say, okay, I'm not available. I cannot take it. So initially I used to get very agitated. But now I think I have come to that point. Okay, I will talk to the parents saying that the trainer for some reason is not available. Can we reschedule the demo session? That is a simple thing which I have started learning from there. That is one thing I have learned, taking notes from any time, anywhere, and at any point of time. That I have started on dealing with parents. And also communication is the key, which I feel. So example, if I'm stuck in some kind of situation, so so in this situation also where I am unable to get the trainers for that particular batch or for the particular student, I need to communicate it to the parents.
Yeah.
That right now we do not have it, but in the future we can do it. Yeah, communication is the key, which I feel. And I started doing that communication, though I know sometime it will be a very difficult conversation with the parents if they give you a very constructive feedback that your academy is not providing a trainer on time or something. We still take that, fine. Right now, yes, in this situation I couldn't provide that.
Yeah.
So I have to take that feedback very positively and work upon it. So that one thing, as a leader, I have started, inculcating those skills in me to communicate, irrespective of whatever situation is, taking no's, and also uh, giving honest feedback. And when I give honest feedback, I also expect that person to give me the honest feedback for myself or for the academy as well. So I never hesitate giving very constructive feedback to my trainers. So there are sometimes students say that I don't want this teacher because
Correct.
so then they do not understand whether it is teaching style or the tone or the way they have spoken to them or the way they have used different kind of words to talk to them during demo session. I really don't know. But yes, I give them a very constructive feedback that student did not like your teaching style and it can be a different parameters. So we are not going to go ahead with you that way. So very honest and straightforward feedbacks giving to the trainers or people who are working with me in my academy. That is one thing I started doing, and taking the feedback also very positively. So if somebody says something about my academy that this is not working good or bad, I do listen to them and then introspect that whether what they have said is correct. There's some part would be correct, some part would be, they have judged. That's okay.
Correct.
No, everybody has that right to judge as per their understanding. So taking the feedback also positively. So that's how I, evolved myself and evolving still. If there is a person who is unable to perform well, you cannot just, fire them. You have to still tell them
Correct.
that this is your feedback. You're not performing well. I'm giving you time, perform, and then we will start working together again that way. So you have to also give them a time to improve for themselves. So giving time also, making them comfortable to work with you. That's what something I think these are the lot of points which I have covered right now, like maybe taking notes, communication, giving people feedback, honest feedback, and taking also honest feedback, giving people space to improve. That is something I started learning, and it is actually helping me in my academy to grow my academy as well and me as a person as well.
So, as a business owner, what is that one thing that you urgently need to learn?
Okay.
We always have that, yeah, I'm not able to get it. What is that one skill that you desperately want to acquire as soon as you can?
Delegation. We are the bottleneck for our
We are the
business.
bottlenecks, 100%.
That is something I want to just, let go and delegate right now. That way. That is one thing I want to start.
How is it affecting your day-to-day operations? I mean, you not being able to, I mean, I'm not saying not being able to, I'd rather say you're not ready to delegate, you're not willing to delegate.
Correct.
See, because as business owners, we are always very, is that mother-child relationship with our business, right? No, मेरे को ही करना है. I am the best one who can do it. We don't trust anyone. It really hampers the way
Right.
the business functions, right?
Right. Yeah.
What are some challenges that you're facing in your day-to-day operations because of that?
Uh, because I can't be everywhere to do lot of things. So, example, if I have to delegate the work of doing example certificates, because we have different kind of initiatives for the school students. So we have certificates, student of the month, who has done well in projects. So every month we do some activities. So in those certificates also, I want to see all of them, whether they are printed well or not. This is a small thing.
Correct.
I can definitely can delegate to someone and ask them to recheck it and send it, but still I want to do that. So this is very small thing which I've realized recently. This is a very basic thing, that I can still ask someone to get it printed, take a sign and just, distribute it among the students. But I still want to recheck it and then go and, get into that particular process of doing end to end, where I can delegate it. So it is just a small example which came in my mind right now. So simple that thing, I would say.
So let's say Speak Orange Academy grows
Hmm.
in the near future. It's going to grow.
Right.
You reach a point where the company has grown 10x from today.
Hmm.
Who would you be then?
Okay.
What? So there are two sides to the question.
Hmm.
What will that change in you as an individual, and who would you be if you were to step away from Speak Orange Academy and let it run as an independent business, independent of Darshana?
Right. Oh, okay. So that way, when I think when I start delegating, and as you said, once you start delegating and you have many people, my company and my academy will grow, my business will grow, definitely. Yes, I would say. Uh, and once it is in this auto mode, like autopilot mode, I think I will be still that person who wants to, impart knowledge, talk to people, connect with people, travel the world or even the rural part of India, go there, converse with people. And probably because I have the skill of French language, so maybe go and teach them language. I will be still that person who also connect with people and talk to them and impart knowledge or share knowledge, whatever knowledge I have. So that would be me when my academy grows 10x and it is in autopilot mode, I would say.
So when we start our businesses, right, we always have this. One of the things that we have in our mind is one day people should look at the company and say, "Ha, this is the company." So there's an identity attached with the
Correct.
company. So what is the identity that you've attached with the company?
Hmm.
And what is the identity that you have attached with yourself being a business owner, being an owner, or being a founder of this company?
Okay. Uh,
I think 20 years from now,
Market
what
please.
would people say about Speak on the Academy and Darshana?
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. For Speak Orange Academy, they would say that uh, yes, this is the academy who has changed my life, because this is the academy who has launched the language courses when I was in school, and it helped me to grow as an individual from school to college, college to the work life, and work life, and so on that way.
Nice.
So that would be my Speak Orange Academy. I think that people should think in that way, that Speak Orange Academy has changed my life for better. That is one thing. And me as a person, uh, she's the one who has helped me to build my confidence when I had no confidence in myself. She's the one who has motivated me to take first step towards to build my confidence in my life. So that is the way I see myself apart from Speak Orange Academy. And I want to be one person who can make a difference in somebody's life, even if somebody wants me to listen to what their problem is in my personal life, I would say. Still, I am there as a friend always. So, for my students, I want to be that person who would say that because of Darshana, ma'am or Darshana, I could take one step ahead to build my confidence for my life.
And I think, Darshana, uh, I really respect and admire that, because it also stems down from, your childhood. I can truly see and sense that, you grew up in a particular way, but you had a lot of people around you who invested in your growth.
Right.
They were there for you,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
I think that has really evolved you as a human being, and now you're trying to pay it forward and, being available, being around people who really need help, and that's really respectful. Today morning only, I met a friend, and we were having this conversation, right?
Right.
That every business, every enterprise should have this purpose or vision
Mm.
to impact not many lives,
Right.
few lives.
Right. Correct.
So we were talking in our context,
Mm.
in
Right.
DK3's context, right? So he said, think it, even if you are able to impact or create some value
Mm.
in just 5 of your clients or vendors,
Mm.
imagine the respect they would have for you,
Yes, true.
right?
True that.
So I think, I really respect that, you think that and you're driven by the fact that you have to be available for people around you, because, there were a lot of people who were invested in your growth.
True. True.
So lovely conversation, Darshana.
Yes.
Time went by really
Yes,
fast.
really fast today.
So before we
Uh,
wind this up, I just have some
Hmm.
rapid fire questions.
Oh, okay.
But these are not, these are like one line answers.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Fine.
So let's go. What did success cost you that nobody sees?
Comfort?
Oh. If tomorrow your business disappeared, who would you be?
Uh, a friend who is available for everyone to talk to.
Awesome. What's one belief that you had to kill to grow?
Taking yourself too seriously.
Oh my God, I wanted to hear that. Huh? Since morning, you are the fourth one who's telling me this. Stop taking yourself seriously.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Couldn't have come at a better time.
Uh,
Where is your industry lying to people?
when it comes to the result, that within 15 days, 30 days, you can become expert in that particular language or fluent in that language. The industry is actually lying there.
What fear still controls your decisions?
Not belonging somewhere.
Yeah, you spoke about it.
So,
It's really difficult, right?
yeah.
Imagining yourself at a place where you just don't belong.
Yeah.
What's the hardest conversation you've had so far as a leader? And not really in terms of
Hmm.
within the company, I'm saying in general,
In general.
as a leader. What is the hardest conversation you've ever had?
Saying that person, like example, if somebody sharing something with you, saying that they want to listen what they want me to talk to them. Example.
Hmm.
So if I say no, you are wrong here, then it becomes a very tough conversation. Why do you think that I am wrong
I'm wrong.
here? Then it becomes tough
Correct.
to talk to that particular person. So they expect the answer what they want to listen to.
Correct.
And when you give them very honest feedback, not in a professional life, but in personal life also.
They're not open for it.
Yeah, then that is a difficult situation.
What insecurity do you still have?
Insecurity of probably sometimes I feel that I'm not doing good enough. Most of the time I think that no, I should be doing better than this, better than this. And some days I feel that, oh, I'm doing nothing in my life. So there are some days where I, such kind of,
There are days
there are some
you don't want to get up.
get up and then we
Too
go,
heavy on your.
yeah, I said, you are not doing anything in your life.
Yeah. What's the point?
What's the point? So yeah, that would be the thing. Yeah.
What is that one mistake that you still keep repeating? Could be anything.
Yeah, correct.
Professional, personal, anything. But
Right.
it's a mistake that I keep repeating again and again.
Uh, Procrastination. I keep on doing कि हाँ कल 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 फिर वो आज की टू डू कल पे जाती है, कल की टू डू कल पे जाती है। आई नो कि ये काम आज ही होना है, ये तो 2 दिन के बाद मुझे करना ही है, फिर भी वही होता है कि चलो वो वाला
कल करेंगे।
कल करेंगे वाला।
What's the truth about your industry
Mhm.
that nobody wants to say out loud?
Okay. That if you want to learn a language, you have to invest time. It is not 2 minutes Maggie. There is something, probably you have to give a certain amount of time to learn that language and build that language skill if you want to really learn and have some benefits of it in your career or in your life. It
Yeah.
needs time. Yeah.
Got it. Awesome, man. This
Yeah.
was really, really beautiful, Darshana. Time कहाँ गया पता ही नहीं चला।
Right.
Spent
Yes.
about
yes.
45 minutes.
Yeah,
So
it was a very good conversation today.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the next one.
Yes, yes, yes.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mandy.